you could just make me a co-host on this new account, that would be awesome, so I can see the waiting room as well once you start talking. So the other thing is we just ask that you all keep yourself muted if you're not talking or asking a question, just so we don't hear background noise and that type of thing, dogs barking and kids crying. So feel free, again, utilize the chat. Also, feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. Jessica and I would love to hear from you and kind of co-create this and help address the questions that you have. And like she said, this is recorded. So if you don't want your video on the internet, that's okay. Just go ahead and turn your camera off. So that's just a quick little Zoom overview. And then before we kind of dive into immunity, or before Jessica dives into immunity, I should say, we will, we just want to share a little bit about the new passion project, which we released this week. So something that's been in the works for a while. Jessica and I have both been doing a lot of research and studying and trainings on essential oils and herbal medicine, women's health, so all sorts of stuff. And we really just wanted a platform where we can share that information. So we've created the Holistic Living Collective Facebook page as a way to share the information that we're learning. And then also to create a space where we can create a community of like-minded people who have similar passion to live naturally and look at alternative options and lifestyle choices. So we're super excited to have that page up and going. If you don't know of the page, once I am done talking, I will post the link in the chat box so that you can easily find it. So we're really excited to grow the community together and really support each other on the journey towards wellness, because we know there's a lot to learn and it can seem a bit overwhelming. So we're excited to be able to support you through that process. And share kind of what we've learned. So stay tuned to that page. We'll be doing our first giveaway this coming week, so stay tuned for that. And I will pass it over to Jessica, who has been a doTERRA wellness rep the past month. So she's been doing, like I mentioned, all sorts of research on oils and supplements and natural products and kind of trying to support her health that way. And Jessica and I met while volunteering in Greece, so we have that similar passion for humanity and making a difference in the life of others, which is ultimately what brought us to sharing the doTERRA products. So I'll pass it over to you, Jessica.
Yeah, thanks. And I want to note that I am by no means a professional when it comes to nutrition or immunity or a lot of the topics that we're discussing. And I listened to a podcast where they always start off with the well, what gives you the right to speak about this? And then they go into this crazy background of education. And I want to start off by saying that I wanted to share this information and put together immunity as a topic for this month because I learned a lot myself and I felt the need to share that. So that's where a lot of this is coming from. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. Can y'all see the burrs? Okay, cool. I'm gonna not be able to see you guys, I guess, during this. Can you still see the berries? Okay.
Yeah, we see the berries. Just make sure you're on speaker view, Jessica, so we record you.
Oh, well, let me go back. You're all minimized. Speaker view. Okay. You are now on speaker view. Here we go. So we are talking about immunity. I recently listened to a doTERRA video and they really talked about this idea of how it's a cycle of protecting, strengthening, and responding. And I thought that was really on point with how you can impact your health. And sorry, the dogs went inside. How inconvenient. Okay, so we're going to go into 3 different topics today. We're going to talk about first just nutrition and our bodies, our immune systems, and answer the question of how our bodies protect itself and what do we need to effectively fight off threats. How can we help our bodies out? What vitamins do we need? And then we're going to go into informed self-care. This is going to be more about supplements and oils and what we can do to kind of boost and support our bodies and our immune systems. And then we're going to talk about mental calmness and how you can calm yourself down, calm your brain down, how that can really make an impact on how your body heals and takes care of itself. I found this quote and I thought that it was important to note the 4 components to keeping your immune system healthy are good nutrition, exercise, breathing, and meditation. Wanted to include this here because I think it's important that we are to note that we're only talking today about nutrition and meditation, but recognize that that's not all you need, right? That's not the only thing that's going to impact your immune system. Of course, regular exercising, and we could do just nutrition or just meditation, we could break apart and talk about that forever, but thought it was a good quote. So nutrition. Start off by talking about our immune systems. So this is something that I learned. Maybe y'all already know a lot of these points, but you have 2 immune systems. So first one that I think most people know about is your innate immunity. So this is also known as your barrier immune system. It's primarily focused on prevention. So this is going to be your skin and your mucous membranes, from your eyes, genitals, guts to lungs. We are able to exist because of the general response that your body has from your innate immune system. I thought that was really interesting. So for example, like if you are, your hands are always dirty and your skin is actually protecting you, and not just in the sense where it's like a coating around your body, but it has cells in your skin that fight off bacteria. Then on the other hand, you have your adaptive immune system. Adaptive immunity is also known as cellular immunity, and it's a little more complex than just thinking about your skin. So this is really thinking about your white blood cells, and specifically the B and T blood cells. So these are the way that it works, and the way that I think about it best is that the B cells create antibodies that are basically like a flag in the cell, and it'll flag the T cells, and the T cells recognize those flags and then go and create like armies of immune cells that help fight those infected cells. So think about it like flagging and then coming and helping those flagged cells. The cool thing about the T cells is that they have memory, and once they respond to, let's say, like the cold or some sort of specific bacteria, they remember that, and then the next time they respond, they're faster and they can get onto that quicker. They are super effective in this memory and can remember things your whole life, 10, 50 years, like they have awesome memory. So that's really important because you want to make sure that your B and T cells are always really healthy alongside your innate immunity. I posted this on my Snapchat the other day, and I thought it was really interesting that your immune system is also known as your floating brain, which is really cool. So what nutrients do we want to give our body to help these B and T cells and these flags go faster and most effective? What can we give our body and our gut, and what nutrients? And, of course, don't only look at this slide and think, oh, if I eat vitamins C, D, and zinc, I'm going to be good to go, because that's definitely not the case. There are loads of vitamins and antioxidants and all different kinds of things that I could not fit in these slides, and nor do I want to try to tackle all of the nutrients that your body needs to survive. I specifically, after doing a lot of research, chose these 3 because after reading a lot about how they can support your body, I thought that it would be most beneficial for others to know what I had learned. So the first one that I really read about was vitamin C. And I read about that one first because I think it's the first thing you see when you go into the cold aisle, or the aisle where it's like all the cold medicine. You see all the like vitamin C packets. So I really wanted to learn about this. So vitamin C is an antioxidant. Antioxidants are substances that protect your cells against free radicals. Free radicals are molecules that your body can produce when it's like a waste, but happens inside your body when it breaks down things. And it also can come to you from like radiation. There's all different ways your body can have free radicals. And they eventually can play a role in heart disease, cancer, things like that. Like smoking cigarettes, the way that your body handles breaking down that toxin in your body, those become free radicals inside your body. And antioxidants such as vitamin C are thought to increase the white blood cell count of your body, which we just learned about. We need the B and T white blood cells to fight infections, and your body doesn't produce vitamin C. So I was saying it out loud really helped me understand, like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess my body doesn't produce vitamin C, and I do need to combat these free radicals. I think people have a pretty good handle on vitamin C, but another thing that I wanted to include here was, of course, citrus fruits, oranges, all of the above. But then red bell pepper, I learned this, thought it was really interesting that I would share. Ounce for ounce, a red bell pepper contains almost as much as 3 times as vitamin C as a single Florida orange. Not sure if anyone else knew that, but if you did, brownie points. I did not. Another one that has a lot of vitamin C in it is broccoli. Broccoli, of course, is supercharged with loads of other vitamins as well, but it's known as the healthiest thing that you can put on your plate. But when looking at how people normally eat broccoli, a lot of times they're cooking out all of the really good nutrients that you need from broccoli. So I wrote here just to share that the best way that you can eat things like this is to steam it. So, or of course, eating it raw. But if you were to like cook it in your food, steaming it is better than boiling it or nuking it in the microwave, as a lot of those packages like to say. Okay, the next one I've got here is vitamin D. Vitamin D was really interesting because I think of course, milk and the sun. But almond milk actually has 30% more vitamin D than regular milk, which is really interesting. And eggs. And I thought that it was also interesting because you get vitamin D from the sun, but it's actually the way that your skin, that barrier, that immune system is responding to sunlight. So it's actually your body creating that response, which I thought was really cool. Getting a sufficient amount of vitamin D is important for normal growth and development of bones and teeth, as well as improved resistance against certain diseases, including the flu. Research has shown that vitamin D may play an important role in regulating mood and warding off depression. In one study, scientists found that people with depression who receive vitamin D supplements notice an improvement in their symptoms. My husband takes vitamin D every day and went to the doctor recently and was told that he actually had a pretty low vitamin D count, and to up his intake, even though he was working outside and all that, is because he was using sunscreen. And when you're using sunscreen like that, you're actually blocking a lot of the vitamin D. Not that you shouldn't use sunscreen, please use sunscreen. But I think that was really interesting and important to learn and just to be aware of. The last one I wrote here, I went back and forth between like zinc, ginger, garlic, like what is the component that I want to talk about on the third one. And the one I wrote and ended with is zinc. And this is another one that your body does not produce. It metabolizes nutrients and maintains your immune system. You need enough zinc every day to make sure that you're meeting your daily requirements. And red meat is a particularly great resource, but ample amounts can be found in other kinds of meat, of course, including beef and lamb and pork. I added this because I just thought it would be good for people to know that if you eat a 3.5 ounce serving of ground beef, you're eating 100 grams, or sorry, that's 100 grams. 100 grams of beef is 3.5 ounces. You're getting 44% of your daily value. So normally you're probably eating a little bit of a bigger steak, but it's good to know like the idea of how big of a steak it is and how much zinc you're getting. Beans and lentils are also another area that you can get zinc. However, it also contains, and I'm going to butcher this word, phytates. And these are called anti-nutrients, and they inhibit the ability of your body to absorb zinc and other minerals, which I had no idea that anti-nutrients was a thing, but it is. And a way that you can go against that is by actually the way that you cook it. Again, similar to broccoli. So heating your beans or any kind of like legume, however you say that word, like a chickpea or a lentil. If you end up soaking it first, you're taking out a lot of the, what's it called? I just said it.
Starch.
It's the
Nutrients.
anti-nutrient. You're taking out a lot of that, and it's allowing your body to digest it a little bit better if you do that first. So I thought that was really interesting to read about because it's a really great source of protein and fiber as well. And you can easily add, beans, seeds, and nuts to soups, stews, and salads. So I don't want people to think like, oh, you have to eat meat, because that's definitely not the case. But it's good to be aware that in order to get rid of those anti-nutrients, you have options. Still with me here? I really quickly wanted to add this in here because I learned about this. I did not know about this. Soil depletion. Did you know that you would have to eat 8 oranges today to derive the same amount of vitamin A as our grandparents would have gotten from 1? The University of Texas published a study in 2004 which reviewed data from 1950 and 1999 across 43 different vegetables and fruits, finding reliable decline in the amount of protein, calcium, phosphorus, iron, vitamin B2, vitamin C. Researchers say that this decline in nutritional content is related to the growth and size of farming as well as pest resistance. So I thought that was really interesting because I guess it makes sense, but I'd never thought about over farming and taking all of the nutrients out of soil. I would guess I just thought like, oh, you just put more fertilizer on it and there you go. But no, that's not how it works. So that being said, we know we need all these things, right? We know we need all these vitamins and minerals. We can eat these fruits, but we're eating these fruits and maybe they're not as good for us as we think they are. So what can we do about that? How can we help our bodies get the nutrients that we need? I like to call this informed self-care. Hopefully I'm informing you all of these things that will help you make decisions for your body. Yeah. So this is where I'm actually going to pass it over to Betty, and she's going to talk to us about a supplement and a daily vitamin. And it's so important for us to have an idea about these depletions of nutrition that we're receiving in our bodies, because we really need that to help our immune systems. And taking a multivitamin or a supplement, giving your body what it needs, is so important. And Betty has a really good handle on this particular product called Lifelong Vitality that doTERRA has. And it includes all of these ingredients that are up on the screen here, plus loads more. But I took this screenshot from a doTERRA presentation that I watched. And if you're on a cell phone, like turn your cell phone to the side so you can see it better. I can't like see you all, but yeah, I'm gonna hand it over to Betty.
Thank you, Jessica. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, fabulous. Thanks for your information. This is really critical, and our nutritional needs are, as you've said it so well, we just don't get it in the food that we eat. We would have to be eating so much. And so doTERRA has really worked hard to create supplements that will help us bridge that gap into what we're getting in our food and what we need. And these are the things that we need. So doTERRA now we know is the largest oil company in the world. They're remarkable in what they have created in their products. And of all of their products, their Lifelong Vitality, it's this little pack right here. This is their number one product. So they've got 9 million customers throughout the world. They're just doing so well. But this is what people are requesting the most. And it begs the question, well, why? And it's because it's making such a difference in people's lives foundationally. So nutrition, if you're going to have a good, healthy immune system, you have got to have nutrition at the base of it, just like Jessica is saying. That's the most important thing to look at. And then you can do building blocks on top of it. So I, have taken some vitamins in the past and have never noticed any significant difference and thought, I'm not going to take these pills until I started taking Lifelong Vitality. And actually, my husband Wynn and I have been taking it for more than 9 years now. And it has made such a difference for us. So doTERRA is so committed to these and knowing that they will change people's lives, that they will give you a money back guarantee. That if you take these vitamins and try them for just 30 days, and if you don't feel better, they will refund your money to you. That's remarkable. So we did it ourselves. We tried it. And what's interesting is the biggest change that I saw first was in my emotions. And if I would go to Idaho and not take my pills with me, in a few days, I could, wow, something is happening. And it was because I was not taking my Lifelong Vitality. Really? Can nutrition make such a difference that we feel better? Something that I really appreciated learning and researching was they did a really great study, doTERRA. Although doTERRA didn't do it, but it was some scientists who looked at the Lifelong Vitality, and they can tell in the blood serum what improves. Do your blood sugars go down? Do your cholesterol go down? What are the things that make difference in your blood that are improved by taking it? And it's here documented. But then again, do you have less pain? Do you feel better? Do you have less anxiety? All of those are documented too. So that's how it is. If we can take the Lifelong Vitality and get the vitamins that we need, so it comes in a 3-pack. This is the vitamins. It contains all of these that are out there in the amounts that we need. Not 100% of everything, because we are going to be getting some in our diets. And the researchers, the scientists have figured out the American diet. This is what most Americans are taking for their vitamin E. This is what they need to be taking. And so they go on top of that so that we're getting the amounts we need, taking into consideration what our diets are probably already providing for us. So the vitamin Z is so important. And then the alpha CRS. Like you said, we all need some other supplements, and people are taking CoQ10, ginkgo biloba, milk thistle. What are some of the others? Selenium, turmeric. They're already all in here. So these micronutrients, these are the herbal micronutrients. They're not oils that are in these, but these are the alpha CRS helps the body on a cellular level. And that's what we need. And the third one is the E-omegas. These are the fish oils. These are the ones that help our body in 3 categories: cardiovascularly, in our nerves, and our mental clarity with the E-omegas. And the third one, Crystal, can you remember? Inflammation. So the omegas really help decrease the inflammation throughout the body. So this Vitality Pack is fabulous. You only need to try it for 30 days. You'll tell a difference. I had a good buddy who took the products in what was in them, took the list like this, went down to the health food store, got it off the shelf, how the vitamin B6, the zinc, the selenium, the vitamin D, everything, added up what he would have to pay for that, and it was $250. And doTERRA has created it for us for much less than that. These are $79 a month. But I get them less because I get them monthly. So I'm so committed. I know if you just give it a try and help your body get to a nutritional level that it needs, it'll be very good for you.
And the E-omegas come in a vegetarian form.
Yes, that's true.
I have to take that one because I'm allergic to fish oil. So if you're vegan, you do have an option.
Thanks, Crystal, for adding that.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll turn it back to you, Jessica. Thanks so much.
I want to add that, also I learned recently that, let's say you aren't feeling very well. So you're like, oh, I'm just going to take a couple more of these vitamins today. my body could use the extra vitamins. Unfortunately, your body doesn't absorb all of what you're putting into it. And then a lot of times the multivitamins that you get at the grocery store, just like right in that aisle, the cheap ones, your body, like you think, oh, I'm getting all of these vitamins and minerals, but really it's just going right through you. And I think one cool thing about the Lifelong Vitality as well is that there's a lot of research done on like the pairing of things and like allowing your body to absorb more. And we're going to get into that, but it's called bioavailability, like the amount that your body can absorb and how there's a whole science between like what you should be eating and foods that you pair together. And there's a reason for that. It's just really interesting.
One other cool thing, just quick, Jessica, about it's all food-based. These are whole plant-based vitamins. There's nothing chemical or within them. So that's great.
Yeah, that is cool. Speaking of plants, I threw together the top 3 oils that I want to talk about. There are so many different oils when you're doing research that can help your immune system, and people have personal experiences with a variety of different ones. I just jotted down 3 that I had my personal experience with and also that I had learned about and felt passionate about. The first one is On Guard. Maddie got hers today. I think she's on the call here. I am very passionate about On Guard. On Guard is a blend of oils. It's not, which sometimes like the labeling, like the word On Guard might throw you off a little bit, but just skip past the branding. Think about it like, oh, it's a blend of plants. They just threw that name on it. There have been some extensive research studies that have gone into this product, so far so to where they basically created multi-complex organisms in petri dishes and then introduced the blends to that, and then spent years analyzing the data retrieved by that study. I really could probably do an entire class on just this oil. I'm very passionate about that study and about the results that they found, and I could get like really science nerdy on y'all, but just know that it was proven to help immune balance and regulation. It supported a healthy inflammatory response. Like they watched the cells that they had triggered to be inflamed, purposefully inflamed the cells. They watched the cells have an anti-inflammatory response to On Guard, which is really crazy. And also there was a bunch of science behind it, the same thing again, about how when these types of, well, I guess we could just say plants, but really we're talking about like the different chemical compounds of the plants together are put into your body. There are scientific evidence that it impacts your immune system in your body differently than those plants and those chemical compounds separately. So that was really cool too. And please reach out to me if you want to nerd out about On Guard. Maddie, I know you're there. Okay, so the next one I wrote down is oregano, because I recently also had some really awesome experiences with oregano. Oregano is most known as its contribution to Italian food, #chicken. However, the word oregano comes from a Greek word, oros, meaning mountain, and gainos, meaning joy or delight, because it was found in Greece, which is really cool. Oregano essential oil is made by air drying leaves and shoots of the plant, and once they're dried, the oil is extracted and concentrated by steam distillation. Oregano contains compounds called phenols, terpenes, and terpenoids. They have powerful antioxidant properties and are responsible for the fragrance. That's what's responsible for the fragrance, is the antioxidant properties. So one in particular, Caraval, is the most abundant phenol in oregano, and it has been shown to stop the growth of several different types of bacteria. So let me say that again. There is a chemical compound inside of oregano that has been known to be antibacterial. It's pretty crazy if you think about it, because you think about like, oh, I want my soap to be antibacterial, or, you know, there's a chemical compound called Caraval inside of oregano. Really cool. The next one that's in there is called thymol, and it's an antifungal. And then the last one that I had read about that I wanted to share was osmaneric acid, and that's also an oregano, and it's an antioxidant which helps protect you again from those free radicals in your body. So simply by, I would recommend putting oregano in like some sort of a veggie capsule or something, because it is a hot oil and it's very strong, like very strong. Like if you dilute it, you're still going to be like, wow, chicken. So I would recommend putting it in like a little soft gel and then ingesting it that way, but putting that in your body. Oh, one thing I wanted to say at the beginning of this also is that essential oils can actually clean out your cells. Whereas like if you take what are they called? You go to the doctor and you're like, I need a prescription.
Antibiotics.
Antibiotic, thank you. If you take an antibiotic, it like cleans out your blood, sure, but it's not actually getting into the cells in your blood and cleaning that out. Whereas when you are putting essential oils into your body, you are actually cleaning out your cells, which is pretty cool. And the last one in regards to cleaning, I think a lot of people know about is lemon. Lemon is a like really popular scent and cleaner, and there's a reason why. Lemon essential oil is a completely natural ingredient that serves as a health remedy. It's extracted from the peel of the lemons, not the juice, which is interesting. We could talk about that and how we could go on about that and its properties, but it's a cold press process that pricks and rotates the peel as oil is released. Lemon oil is one of several essential oils that can kill harmful bacteria that can grow on your skin. A recent study, lemon essential oils, was shown to be effective against strains of bacteria like E. coli and staph. And this makes a good choice for topically cleaning small wounds even. So you could put it directly on, like, I guess, I was just thinking Mary-Kate falling on her longboard, but that would be really sad. Mary-Kate, don't fall on your longboard. But you could put it in your wounds and it would clean it out. So that's really cool. Other research has confirmed lemon essential oils' effect against infection and causing bacteria and may prevent skin inflammation. Lemon essential oil perks up your mood, and it's also good for your brain power. A small study performed in 2008 concluded that aromatherapy with essential oils such as lemon could improve the cognitive function of people with Alzheimer's. So it was really cool too. So not only does it have, I wanted to put those other things in there because not only does it have this like antibacterial, all these good things that does inside your body, but it also is, a lot of citrus oils do this, but it's really good for mood boosting and brain function. So that was really cool too. All right, so hopefully y'all are learning something. I can't see any of you guys. Let me see if I click this, can I see you? Can y'all see me now? Hello, party people. Okay, good. Maddie is there. My sister is there. Everyone's still here. Thanks for hanging on, y'all. Okay, so next we are going to talk about mental calmness. So how can slowing your brain down really impact your immune system? Molly was like, did you know that if you meditate, you can like help your immune system too? You should totally look into that. And I was just like, this I am going to look into because this is really intriguing. And the more I read about it, I mean, it makes sense. We're going to start by talking about, in the 80s, it was discovered that your immune system is highly intelligent. It became known as the floating brain because of the ability of immune systems to participate in the chemical messages that are sent by your brain throughout your body. So if you think about it, your brain is sending messages to this other part of your body that's functioning totally independently, which is really cool. So, sorry, I just got like really deep in thought there. Yeah, it is really cool. Your immune system is a floating brain. So this means that your thoughts, moods, sensations, and expectations are transmitted chemically from your brain to your immune system. So when you meditate, these messages change in a really important way. Since your immune system responds to both negative and positive thoughts, meditation creates a positive mental environment for those immune systems to flourish. So in other words, just by simply being calm and slowing down and breathing, you're allowing your immune system to also be calm and do what it does best and to take care of you. So that's really cool. Mindfulness meditation has shown increase in electrical activity in the prefrontal cortex. Sorry, we're talking about your brain now. And I don't know all of where that is in my brain. My sister, Mary Kate, and my mom would probably be like, you should look that up first. But prefrontal cortex, the right anterior insula, and the right hippocampus. All these parts of your brain control positive emotions, awareness, and anxiety. These are also the areas of the brain that are the command center for your immune system. When they're stimulated, they make the immune system function more effectively. Reduced makers of inflammation, high levels of which are often correlated with disease, immune functioning, or decreased immune functioning and disease. So it's really cool. And then the last bullet that I had here, I threw this in here because I thought this was important, but the way that I wrote it is that by doing this, you're increasing the telomere activity. Telomere helps promote the stability of chromosomes in your body and can help prevent deterioration of those chromosomes. So basically, you can help your body from aging through meditation and your immune system. Did that come out right? Yeah. Meditating and slowing your brain down can help your chromosomes, which can eventually lead to, just premature aging and all the other bad things that happen as you get older with your chromosomes. Any questions about that? Because I was reading that and I was like looking into that, thinking to myself, this makes sense, but why have I never heard this before? No? Okay, let's see here. Okay, so can y'all see the picture of the woods? How lovely are those woods, right? I put this picture up here because I'm gonna pass it off to Molly, and Molly's gonna lead us through like maybe, what do you think, Molly? 5 minutes of some calming practices.
Yeah. So Jessica and I, when we were developing this, we wanted to provide a brief experiential experience, so that, talking about meditation isn't something we're just thinking about. And it's, for people who have never been exposed to it, it can seem kind of daunting or inaccessible. So we just wanted to share just about 5 minutes of a grounding little session. So yeah, to do this, you can stay in the position you're in. So finding a comfortable position. If it's more comfortable for you, you can also sit on the ground, or staying on the chair or the couch is completely fine. My recommendation is, if you're in a chair on the couch, to place your feet directly on the ground. If your feet don't reach the ground, placing a blanket or a pillow or something underneath so you have that grounding effect. So coming into that comfortable position, you can gently close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. If not, you can just soften your gaze, maybe looking at one point on the ground in front of you. So for some of us, closing our eyes is stimulating. So whatever helps you to settle and to have an inner experience. So for me, that looks like closing my eyes, but not for everybody. And from here, just starting to become aware of the places in your body that are being physically supported by the surface beneath you. So whether that's your hips, your back, maybe leaning into a chair. So connecting with those places of stability and connecting with that support, maybe even noticing the ground lifting up to hold you. And from here, just beginning to notice your breath. So not shifting or fixing, rather just observing and allowing the breath to flow naturally. Maybe deepening the breath, if that's accessible, but not pushing it. Just noticing how it feels to inhale and how it feels to exhale. Just noticing the breath in and the breath out. Maybe noticing if there's any parts of your body where you feel the breath as you inhale and as you exhale. So again, just noticing what it feels like to breathe, connecting with that sensation, and allowing the natural breath. And from this place, I invite you just to check in with yourself. Again, not shifting or changing or fixing, rather just witnessing, allowing space for whatever is. Noticing any sensations that are present for you. Maybe you're feeling hot or cold. Maybe you're feeling tired or anxious. Just becoming aware of those sensations from a place of detachment. And know that there's space for whatever is present. And from here, coming back to your breath. Maybe noticing if your belly or your chest rises with the inhale. And maybe you notice that your stomach, your belly, and your chest fall back into your spine with the exhale. Just noticing if there's any movement there. Inhaling and exhaling. With the inhale, you may want to raise the top of your head towards the sky. And with the exhale, you might ground down into the earth, into the surface beneath you a little bit more. And whenever you're ready, you can slowly come back to the space you're in, blinking your eyes open if they've been closed. Whenever you're ready, taking your time. Maybe turning your head from side to side, noticing the space you're in, the colors, the textures. It's called orienting. So orienting to the space that we're in can be another valuable resource for calming the mind and stabilizing the nervous system. So thank you. I know that was just a little taste, just a few minutes, but I just wanted to present it in a way that is simple and accessible and kind of expressing how it's something you can do anytime, anywhere. Even if you just have a minute in your car, you can stop, connect with your breath, ground. We call it resourcing. So resourcing is things that help you feel safe and grounded. So these self-regulation tools don't need to be abstract. It doesn't need to be 30 minutes on your yoga mat every morning in order to have a benefit on your mental wellness, your nervous system, and therefore, as Jessica's mentioned, also your immune function. So I'll pass it back to you, Jessica. I don't know if you have more to talk about before we close.
Muted. It just warned me. You are muted. I just wanted to make sure that everyone was reminded again that I am not an expert on these things, and I have thrown together just some links if anyone is interested. I'm happy to share where I got this information from, and yeah, I hope y'all learned something. I was very passionate when learning about my own health to share with others, and that's kind of how this all began. Molly and I hope to continue having regular discussions on natural things that you can do to help your body, not just for your immune system, but gosh, we have all kinds of awesome topics to go through. And if you haven't already joined our Facebook group, we just started a new Holistic Living Collective page.
I put the URL in the chat box, and then when we post this video, for those of you listening to the recording, we'll post the link in the comments as well, or in the YouTube description for the page. I also, just before we do close and do a few last minute kind of announcements, just want to open it up in case anybody has any questions or experiences they want to share, or products they used for their immune system in their home, so we can also learn from each other. So feel free to unmute yourself or throw in anything in the chat box if you do want to share anything or ask anything.
Mary Kate, what you got back there?
I'll share something that happened just recently, and it has to do with oregano. So about a week ago, I woke up and I had a spider bite on my leg. It was this big and very itchy. And I put oregano on it every few hours, and a couple of days later, it was nice and gone, other than the oregano burn, because I did it in a hurry and didn't dilute the oregano. But but that it's a huge thing, because, you know, for all I know, it was a brown recluse that bit me. Because I was asleep, and just knowing that oregano was there to help me to quickly heal myself without having to make a trip to the emergency room to figure out what's going on and get an antibiotic.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's a powerful story. Thanks for sharing, Crystal. And just, I wanted to mention earlier when Jessica was talking about oregano, doTERRA makes the Touch Blend, which is more affordable, and it's mixed with the carrier oil for easy application. So if I'm using oregano oil internally, I have sensitive, well, all my systems are sensitive, we can say. So I always dilute it. So if you know, all sorts of skin things that arise, I go to my doTERRA Touch. So that's helpful to avoid, you know, like Crystal mentioned, it's a hot oil, so it can be too strong on the skin and also on the digestive system. So that's one that we always want to be careful with diluting. Was Mary Kate going to say something there?
Yeah, Mary Kate, what you got over there? How's it going over there in that home?
Things are well. I didn't have much to say. Felt called out, so I felt like I should say something, but
that's okay. You don't have to share. Thank you guys all.
Sharing's caring.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for coming. We want to mention just a couple of quick things. So I think Jessica and I both have attended dozens of these classes. So even if you've been to an intro to essential oils class before, we're having another one coming Wednesday. So a week from now, same time, same place. We'll send the link out to just come and learn about the basic foundation of essential oils and supplementing and the different products that doTERRA has for us. So we'll post the link for that next Wednesday. That will be our class next week. And then the next class we have planned, so we want to do these monthly focus calls once a week to kind of narrow in and really dive into specific topics. So next month is on October 21st, right, Jessica?
Yeah.
At 6 p.m. So it's a Wednesday again, so we'll stick to Wednesdays. And that will be on sleep and stress management. So I'll share a little bit about my journey. I've had quite a journey with sleep and nightmares and stress management. So we look forward to sharing about like nighttime routine and different ways to support yourself in healthy sleep. So we hope you can all come for that class as well. So once again, we have the new Facebook group. We'd love to see you there. So check that out. The link is in the chat box. And I think that's everything, unless there's anything else anybody else wants to add in.